Hello everyone, Kelsey Comacher here checking in with Bamboo Spawn Wellness Center. I'm going to be doing a quick little presentation here, an explanation about a newer service that we now offer called lymphatic drainage. And we actually do it through a machine called the BallancerPro. It is termed the Rolls-Royce of lymphatic massage for its amazing ability and technology that's built into it, which we'll kind of dive into later in this presentation. So I wanted to start off with just a little bit of explanation of what is the lymphatic system. Most of us probably know this system in the body as our immune system. It is totally responsible for our body's detox and drainage systems. So with that, it is moving out waste, toxins, and excess fluid within the body, thus supporting the immune function and circulation that our bodies are innately given. The unique thing about the lymphatic system is that it needs activity and actual manual movements to actually keep it flowing and healthy. So, unlike our circulatory system, which has blood vessels, our lymphatic system, which has lymph vessels, don't necessarily have the dedicated muscles surrounding them to pump the fluid. So, our circulatory vessels or our blood vessels have actual muscle and specialized muscle that pumps automatically. This is an involuntary thing, so our nervous system just automatically controls it. We don't have to think about this pumping, and that's how we get blood all throughout the body or circulation all throughout the body. So, our lymph vessels, yes, they're also pathways, think of them as blood vessels, but they don't have these muscles surrounding them that would pump the fluid. So we have to actually do something to manually move this lymph fluid. So this is why, if you think of things like lymphedema, for example, that lymph fluid will pool in a certain area, commonly the lower legs, because typically that comes after a very sedentary lifestyle, meaning we're not moving a lot. So that lymph fluid doesn't get the chance to move and flow throughout the body and moving nutrients, detoxing the system, and all those types of things. So I have a little chart on here too that just shows the anatomy of the lymphatic system. There are, of course, different areas that involve more lymphatic traffic areas. So those high traffic areas would be things like our armpits, the inguinal areas, kind of up in the neck is another one where we typically have some swelling in those places when we're, say, sick, or our immune system or lymphatic system is very active trying to detox and heal our bodies. Other organs that are involved in the lymphatic system include our tonsils and adenoids, the thymus gland, spleen, and even our bone marrow. So here's just a list of some symptoms of poor lymphatic flow. Some people will notice other things, but the main things that we notice when we have poor lymphatic flow, meaning we have a lot of stagnant lymph, is things like bloating and digestive issues, or even water retention. Swelling is the big one, especially in arms, legs, or face. Feeling sluggish or fatigued, brain fog, trouble concentrating, frequent colds or low immunity, stiffness and achy joints or even muscle soreness, and then puffy eyes and skin congestion, as well as slow recovery after workouts or surgeries. So, speaking of that, some benefits of doing lymphatic drainage would be kind of the opposite of all of those symptoms. So, reducing swelling and water retention is the big one. Once you start using some lymphatic drainage methods more often and consistently, you'll notice things like the ability to recover a little bit faster. Maybe that's even after a simple workout, or especially after your surgery. It's great to do before surgeries as kind of prep to help the body get into that optimal state before going into that trauma or that surgery. It can also boost immune function, so we might have less sick days. It can improve circulation and detoxification, relieving heaviness, pain, and stiffness, as well as fatigue. Definitely supports clearer and healthier skin. It can support inch loss, especially if there's a lot of that fluid retention and stagnant lymph. We can absolutely see that benefit. And of course, while we're doing the therapy, it's great relaxation and also some stress relief too. So you may have heard about lymph drainage, but not necessarily from a machine. So the typical one out there is manual lymph drainage. This is a gentle and hands-on technique that can only be provided by a trained therapist. This works to stimulate lymphatic flow with light and rhythmic strokes. It's a great option for targeted areas, especially like specific joints or local swelling or tension. But the one thing that I like to point out here, comparing it to the Balancer Pro or the machine, is that it's very unlikely that the therapist is going to be able to get a 360 effect around the entire body. So, whether that's around the entire leg or the entire abdomen or even the chest, it's very, if not impossible, it's very unlikely that the therapist is going to be able to get that 360-degree effect. The Balancer Pro, on the other hand, if we're comparing the two between manual lymph drainage and Balancer Pro, this machine is FDA cleared for lymphatic compression. It uses special garments with 24 chambers for very precise pressure. It mimics a lot of the manual lymph drainage flow patterns, but it covers the entire body in a 360-degree manner. It's gentle, comfortable, and touchless. The nice thing about the machine here is that, again, we're getting that 360-degree approach. We have lymph vessels all the way through our body, so they're not just on the front of the body. There's 70% of our lymph, they say, is on the superficial side of our body, but that also includes the back and in and out of the body and things like that too. So it's very nice to use a machine just for the fact that it can get that 360-degree effect, so we can actually pump the fluid in those vessels up to those drainage sites, rather than sometimes with manual techniques we'll get a little bit of what they call backflow, meaning we're moving the lymph up, but then the therapist is going to have to move their hands at some point, and they're not able to get all the way around that vessel or that specific area to actually move and pump that fluid all the way to the drainage site. So yes, where the Balancer Pro outperforms versus some of the manual lymph drainage techniques that we know of right now is definitely with consistency. You're going to get the same sequence and pressure every single session. A therapist, that's going to be very difficult to say, "Hey, therapist, I want 40 millimeters mercury of pressure all throughout my body." They'll probably look at you with some crazy eyes and ask if you're okay. Whereas the machine, obviously all that we've got to do is plug it into the technology and pick whatever protocol that we'd like to target, and it's going to automatically sense exactly how much pressure it needs to be doing on your specific body. The other one is coverage. Again, we're going to get that full body drainage in just one treatment. Sometimes with manual lymph drainage, they're actually only able to do maybe one quadrant of the body at a time for each session. So the nice thing about the Balancer Pro is that we're getting a full body effect in every single treatment. Also efficiency. These sessions are 20 to 60 minutes, just kind of depending on what what the goals are and what we're trying to achieve with each client. Again, what we're doing in those 20 to 60 minutes could take actually hours to do in manual lymph drainage. The accessibility is great. There's not really no need to wait for specialist hands. Typically, those specially trained therapists have a lengthy wait list because they fill up pretty quick. And we don't have to question the therapist's skill set, which is also another benefit and nice to consider. This technology is highly researched. They do a lot of research and updates on the technology to always be optimizing and coming out with the newest and best protocols for their systems. We get clear results. We can both see those and feel those, which is awesome. And there's always customizable protocols for athletes. We've got post-op recovery protocols, we've got detox protocols, inch loss protocols, and so much more that we can do with this one device. Here are just a series of pictures of before and afters for specific clients. Again, it does have kind of that body contouring effect, especially if we've got pretty significant stagnant lymph that you can see in these pictures. They have that stagnant lymph before. After we start working with the body to drain all of that stagnant lymph and get it out of the body, they definitely do see visible results. So one unique thing that we are doing in our clinic is something called a 10-day lymphatic revival protocol. So this includes, as the best that we can, 10 consistent days. Ideally, they're consecutive days that we do some sort of lymphatic drainage therapy in every one of those 10 days. So your first day starts out with a signature lymphatic enhancement session. This is one of our best and most popular services, especially for lymphatic drainage, inflammation, and all those things. Um, that first starts out where you're doing a prep session. It's about a 5-minute session with the vibration plate. Then your therapist is going to perform dry brushing, warm bamboo, and stone massage. And then when you're in the lower body garment for the BallancerPro and receiving the lower body lymphatic drainage, you're also going to be receiving a lymphatic facial and a mini scalp treatment. And then during your upper body session, you'll be receiving foot reflexology. So all of those things are kind of put into that specific signature session to really jumpstart the lymphatic system. And after we've jumpstarted that lymphatic system, then we can start to do the real drainage with the machine. So days 2 through 10 are when you're going to be doing both a lower and upper body session in the BallancerPro garments. And that again is going to really elevate the benefits that you're getting from the signature session as well. And then typically we recommend that at home the clients be doing their daily dry brushing. We actually send you home with a dry brushing kit after your signature session, and we show you through. We have a little guide that you can take home as well to show you how exactly to dry brush at home. We also recommend to limit or eliminate things that can be very inflammatory. That includes alcohol, sugar, and ultra processed foods. So we try to encourage clients to eat as whole foods as possible during the 10 days. We always say increase your water intake. Ideally, that would be about half your body weight in ounces, body weight being in pounds. And then we also recommend increasing your mineral intake. We love the brand Baja Gold sea salt. We sell that here in our clinic, so it's a pretty affordable thing to do, just to take a pinch of that high quality sea salt underneath the tongue and deliver minerals fast to the system that way. We also definitely recommend increasing movement. Brisk cardio is going to be the ideal movement there, at least aiming for about that 30 minutes a day. If you can tolerate and do more, that's amazing. We recommend doing that as well. Anything we can do to kind of get that heart rate elevated, and also the brisk cardio, that stepping, especially on solid ground, is very beneficial to actually stimulate and move lymphatic flow too. We also, as best you can, recommend to decrease the stress within the body. One amazing thing that we can do for stress specifically is something called vagal nerve stimulation, which I believe we might have another video up explaining vagal nerve stim, but it's a great way to really elevate all the benefits that you're going to get in these 10 days as well. And then some enhancements, other services that we kind of offer to that are optional, of course, just as add-ons if you'd like to really enhance your benefits, would be the ionic foot detox. This is a great way to enhance the actual detox from the body and stimulate again that whole body lymphatic drainage type thing. We also recommend something called our arc LED light bed. This we use for all sorts of things, inflammation and pain being the number one thing. So if we really want to hit it hard within those 10 days and we're really going after it, that's a great thing to do after your lymphatic drainage sessions as well. So again, we do offer the single session, the signature session, which we're priced right now at 185, and of course that includes all of the things listed there on the screen. But then we also offer some packages. We have a 5 session package for 385, which would include one signature session as your first session, and then your next 4 sessions would be just the Balancer Pro lymphatic drainage sessions. So it makes it a little bit more affordable to get those 5 sessions in through the package. And then if you want to go even a step further, we've got the 10 session package, excuse me, especially for those seeking out that 10-day protocol. Of course, that package is going to include your first signature session and then 9 whole body Balancer Pro lymphatic drainage sessions. Alrighty, and that's kind of just a summary of lymphatic drainage. It's a quick one, but if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to answer them. You can either call into our office at 402-303-6630, or you can always drop us an email. Our email is going to be on our website. Our website has tons of great information, as well as a spot that you can actually book these services online. You can also buy packages if you're all in and ready to go. You could buy packages right online too. It makes it super simple to book and purchase any of our packages and products and things like that. So highly recommend looking at our website if you'd like any more information. Otherwise, please give us a call. We're happy to help you out. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you in the next video.